Hello and welcome back to Pre-Store Companions. I'm Dylan. I'm a science teacher teaching middle school science. I'm trying to be a social media influencer, reptile keeper. That's primarily what my channel is about, so if that kind of content interests you, please consider subscribing. I'm always up to like random things. I do a lot of different art projects and I try to incorporate some of that in a lot of my videos. Try to bring educational content and trying to make my content more entertaining. Typically, I'm a reptile person. I currently have around 15 ball pythons, a couple extra different snake species. I think I have about 21 snakes, 4 lizards. I got 2 frogs. I got a bunch of weird bugs that I breed to feed off to my insect-eating reptiles. And even recently, this year, 2024, I have acquired some guinea pigs. These guys are awesome. They're super adorable. Like, they make the cutest sounds. They're very vocal. Just really fun, very energetic. I enjoy watching them. They're really cool. So today we are going to build Pumpkin and Latte. That's my 2 guinea pigs. We're going to build them a piggy mansion. I recently bought this house and I've been fantasizing about having more space and being able to pursue these things that I've been thinking about doing, and now that I have more space, I'm always updating my animal enclosures, and that's kind of the moral or theme of today's video, is always trying to improve the way we keep our animals, our husbandry practices, the enclosures that we have them set up in. Do they have adequate enrichment? Do they have the right temperatures, humidity, the right diet? It's definitely lots to take into consideration when you're keeping any species of animal. So I've had these guinea pigs for a little while now and everything's going great, but their current enclosure is just too dang small. They only have about 4 square feet, and I have a design that should give them about 8 times that space. We're gonna build an enclosure that is 4 stories tall. I've thought about the whole functionality, how I want it to function for both the guinea pigs and for me. I just want these guys to be super spoiled rotten, as well as all of my animals. So without further ado, let's dive right into the build. Okay, so I have 4 of these panels built. These are 2x4s. This one I put on wheels. This is the base, and there's gonna be 4 stories to this guinea pig house. I'm sealing the top. This is where the guinea pigs will be living. I'm sealing it with this stuff, Flex Seal Liquid. Liquid rubber in a can, colored white, stops leaks fast. Brush it on, roll it on, dip it on, pour it on. So this is just essentially gonna waterproof everything, protect the wood from any potential rotting. Hopefully it's easy to clean. And then of course they'll have their wood chip substrate that'll be like a couple inches thick, so they're not gonna be directly living on this stuff. They do need some padding to protect their little feetsies, and they, need it to absorb all their pee and poop and all that stuff. Okay, all these panels have a second coat of the liquid rubber. Now we're going to take some chicken wire and the side panel support beams and figure out how far to space each of these levels. It's pretty much, I'm suspecting, going to be around 6 feet tall with all these 4 different levels. So we are nearing completion. We are just about finished with this thing. I've got 2 doors on. I've got 2 more doors to go. I've got to make some adjustments because some of these doors aren't on there properly. They look kind of funky. There's always something that comes up when you're doing these build projects. You have this image of what you're trying to create in your head, and as you're progressing through it, you're constantly making decisions and solving problems. So this is just one of those things that I just gotta tweak, make some minor adjustments, make it look pretty. And it's always important to, whenever I'm building stuff like this, I often take a step back and look at it from different points of perspective and, just think about it, let it talk to me, see if it's telling me that it needs anything specific. Then again, you make decisions as you're progressing through the build. So we're just about finished. I'd say probably 90% there. These guinea pigs are gonna be spoiled rotten. They're gonna be able to access all these levels, and I figure I'm gonna try and build, but I'll probably put a trap door just in case, I want to separate individuals, especially if I plan on breeding. I probably wouldn't want my males constantly with the females, constantly cranking out babies. I don't know. We'll see. I have never bred guinea pigs, but that's something that I want to give a try, especially just to, have a couple more babies. It's always fun. We'll see. If there's a demand for them, then I can produce them if people actually want them. But I'm not going to produce them just to keep having them, especially if there's not really a solid market for them. But, just to maybe have a little colony, I'll have a little nice collection for myself. And so all in all, I think the moral for this video is that, when you get animals, take some pride in your animals. So I'm constantly trying to improve the way I conduct my husbandry, the way I care for my animals, the enclosures that I have them set up in. I really want them to have the best. If only I had all the resources and time in the world, I'd make it happen. So I did go around and silicone all the edges just in case, when they, I'm gonna have their wood chip bedding in here, and when they pee, I don't want it seeping down in the cracks and then rotting the wood, so that's nice and sealed. They're not gonna be able to get to that. I've tried to put as much wood and other materials on the outside so that most of the inside is this chicken wire material, so they're not gonna be able to chew through things. I have a couple wood blocks in their current enclosure, and they don't even chew on those, so hopefully they won't end up chewing all over this wood and stuff. So they'll have a nice ramp. I gotta figure out, I might glue popsicle sticks here to give some grip so they have something to actually grab onto. Little stairs to access the second level. Then I have a little longer piece that they, kind of zigzag their way up to go up to the very next level. And I figured, they pop out underneath each one of these hides that are kind of zigzagged going up the tower here, the piggy mansion. Using just a simple carabiner locking mechanism, super easy, works pretty good, has a nice tightly closed fit. I think they definitely shouldn't be able to push out of that. So as I was building this, I was thinking about functionality all in mind, how I wanted the whole unit to function. Is it going to be appropriate for the animals? Are they going to have enough space? And is it going to be easy for me to clean? So I wanted the doors to fold down instead of folding up, because then I'd have to find something to keep them held up. I think it's just easier if they fold down, and then I have a nice wide opening so I can really get in there, do what I gotta do, clean. We'll see. I got this thin mesh because the bedding that I use for them in their current cage, they kick it all out and it ends up all over the floor. So hopefully I have a thick enough side piece here, and with the small holes mesh, hopefully they won't kick too much debris out onto the floor. If they do, I may need to go around and put another 3 or 4 inch panel, but I'm really trying to optimize viewing them. I don't want that to be too tall because I actually want to see them roaming around. So here we have it, folks, the final product. Danger, do not enter, and that's probably true because I have a rat up here. I've had this rat for a little while. Some time ago, one of my ball pythons, Hula, my bamboo ball python, went off of feed, so I had bought a live to hopefully kickstart her feeding response again. I do typically feed frozen thawed, only very rarely, and if I absolutely have to, will I feed live. But this little girl got very lucky and has been a pet ever since, and she's only been living in a small 20-gallon tank for a little while, and now I got her upgraded to this big old thing. But this thing bites, so danger, do not enter. I'm gonna get a male, maybe another female, and start breeding rats here. I'm pretty much at the point where I have well over 20 snakes, and I need to start breeding my own feeders. All right, we'll go ahead and open up all these guinea pigs here, give you guys a little look at what we got going on in here. Actually, I think I need to start opening it from the bottom. Yeah, these doors, like, I built them like really tight so they all kind of help keep the doors closed. But if I put the carabiners at an angle just to kind of lift that open just a little bit, then I can remove like the rest of the door and access very easily. We'll go ahead and open this all up here. There you have it, we're all open. Let's take a look at the inside. So I'm thinking of even getting some fencing and creating like a ramp to the bottom level and creating a perimeter so they have even more room to run around, lay down some blankets and some covering so they don't get like pee and poo all over the floor. But definitely I just want to give these guys a lot of space. I want them to be happy. So each level they have hay feeders. They need hay constantly. They have big food bowls with lots of their pellets and tasty stuff. They love carrots, so a couple times a week I'll try and put like some carrots dispersed and kind of hide them so they have to find them. Every level has a big water feeder, and these guys, like so far these piggies have been in here for about a week, and I've only had to fill up their waters only once. I haven't gotten around to changing the bedding yet. I think my next big investment is getting a big shop vac. That way I could just go in there and vacuum it all up, make really quick work of slurping it all up. Yeah, they've definitely been using these ramps. It's so cute watching them go all up and down these stairs. I end up using these angles. I was going to use popsicle sticks, but whenever I was cutting my 45s for the ramps, the angle pieces, I had all these trims. I'm like, oh, those would be like perfect little stairs. So then I just used some liquid nail. It's like liquid nail, essentially. It's an adhesive, and yeah, those things are not going anywhere. They have all kinds of like just food enrichment. These things just eat that. I don't think they really play with like toys per se, but there's definitely a lot of things for them to interact with. Actually, one of the piggies is in here. There's one, there's Pumpkin. And there's Latte hiding in the dark there. So yeah, these ramps work perfectly. There's just a little wire that I clip on there, and I can close it, latch it down, and nothing can get in or out. So it's a good way to isolate the animals if I need to. So in all, I think the total cost of this enclosure ran me around maybe $500. Not too bad. I can't imagine what it would cost if I had someone custom build this. It's not perfect. There's some little wonky, weird things, but that just adds character to the piece. But I'm super proud of this. I really cranked this out. It took about 3 weeks to build on and off because, you know, I do have a full-time job, and I'm trying to also, anytime I'm making videos, like setting up my camera equipment and, you know, making my hair, doing my mustache, you know, all that stuff takes time. It takes me like 2 or 3 times longer to do things like this whenever I'm making a video. But anyways, drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this guinea pig mansion. If you keep animals, drop me a comment. Let me know what you do to provide your critters with awesome enrichment. Hit that like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know that people like my content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Next week, I got a really super special video, so gotta stay tuned. I got some new companions, and you guys are not gonna wanna miss who and what they are. Stay tuned for Prehistoric Companions. We appreciate you stopping by, and we all hope to see you guys in the next video.